So we have some major data for Tesla stock coming out in the next few days that we're going to want to go ahead and pay attention to, because depending on the results on this data, we could see Tesla stock either capitulate or move up an additional 6%. So make sure to watch this video in its entirety so you don't miss out on the data that is coming out soon. Now, before we go ahead and cover the big data that's coming out for Tesla in the next few days, I want to cover things from an economic perspective and talk about the last few reports that just came out today. For example, we had the United States initial jobless claims tick downwards today, which is great because this means that there's less people applying for unemployment. And of course, we want less people applying for unemployment. We want a robust job market, because the more people are, employed and getting paychecks, the more that they could go out and spend and, perhaps buy a Tesla vehicle. But in addition to that, we also saw the continuing jobless claims tick downwards as well, which means that people that were on unemployment are also getting off unemployment, which again is good because, like I said, we want a robust job market. Along with that, we saw the third estimates for the GDP for the first quarter of 2023 show that we're actually growing by 2%, which is good because obviously we want, the overall economy to grow. However, I do want to highlight that when you pay attention to the delta, yeah, we grew, but we're growing at a smaller number than previous quarters. So that's definitely something we want to pay attention to. So overall today, all the economic data that came out kind of showed, hey, things are looking very positive for the economy. However, I want to go ahead and let us know that we want to pay attention to what comes out tomorrow, which is the PCE report, because of course we do want to see a strong labor market, we do want to see a strong economy, but we don't want to see it at the expense of high inflation. We don't want to see inflation continuously ticking up or continuously showing that it's very sticky. We want to see some positive outcomes in the inflation report that comes out tomorrow, because of course if inflation comes out a little bit sticky or actually hotter than expected, well, that means that Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, or Papa J, is going to have to turn on the heat in the oven and, again, really just stick to his hawkish rhetoric and actually fulfill his promise of actually having to hike rates an additional 2 more times. So overall, a very big data week. However, the biggest report is coming this Sunday. Now, the big data that's coming out this Sunday is the delivery numbers for Tesla Q2. Now, the forecasts or the estimates are around 440,000 all the way up to 450,000, which I believe Bloomberg is kind of having an estimate of 445,000, right? So anything above 445 is going to show as a beat, and that's going to be very good for Tesla. Of course, if we have the inverse, if we have Tesla kind of not deliver on these numbers and have poor numbers, well, that's going to be very harmful for Tesla, especially because in the last few weeks we've seen, or actually this whole year, right, we've seen Tesla really rise up tremendously. And so a bad delivery number could really hurt Tesla stock, of course, in the short term. Now, I do want to highlight some things looking at the price action, because of course, with all the data talking about from the economic standpoint and then also the fundamental standpoint of Tesla, I want to go ahead and just highlight where we're at from a technical standpoint. Now, before we go ahead and talk about the price action for Tesla, I do want to remind you guys that for those of you guys that are not subscribed to the channel, consider tapping that subscribe button, as you will be able to get updated on any future videos, especially because this Sunday I will cover the delivery numbers for Tesla. But going back to the the actual price action, I want to highlight where we're currently at. So currently we're seeing that Tesla is at this level where there's a lot of volume by price, right? And so obviously when we see these levels where there's a lot of volume by price, that's where we kind of see Tesla consolidate, move sideways. That's where we form supports and resistance levels. And I want to go ahead and highlight something. So notice on the area on the bottom over here where there's very little volume by price, right? If Tesla's going up when there's very little volume by price, that's when Tesla shoots up. And then I want to point you guys up to the top portion over here, again, an area where there's little volume to price. If Tesla's going up when there's little volume to price, well, Tesla shoots up. But then if the trend of Tesla is going downwards and there's little volume to price, well, Tesla is going to fall down tremendously, right? And so this is why, when we're talking about things from a technical standpoint, we always want to pay attention to the volume relative to price, because of course, when there's little volume relative to price, that's where we see the big movements in price action, right? Because there's little of a battle between the bid and the ask, right? And so when there's little, just a small battle between the bid and the ask, and there's a lot of buying pressure, well, it's going to fill up the order books and the stock is going to go up. And in the inverse, if there's a lot of selling pressure and there's little volume to price, then of course the order books are going to, just capitulate and the price is going to go down. So we're somewhere here in the middle, right? And so if we have a good delivery number that comes out this Sunday, well, that could push Tesla above to this area where there's very little volume by price. And if we trend upwards, well, we could see a massive move for Tesla. Also considering the fact that there is a ton of investors and institutional investors that are shorting Tesla. So this also provides an opportunity of a potential short squeeze. So that's something that we want to be just aware of. Now, if the inverse happens, let's say Tesla actually underperforms with these delivery numbers, well, that would put us somewhere around like possibly the 248 level, which is slightly less volume, but it's still a lot of volume. But again, if just bad economic outcomes come out, eventually we could go to this area where there's like at around 235, where there's little volume by price. And if Tesla's trending downwards, well, that would be bad for Tesla. Now, we recently did have a cargo ship that was going to the UK, which had an estimate of 4,000 Tesla vehicles that is actually got unloaded yesterday. So hopefully those deliveries counts towards the numbers of deliveries for Q2, because if those get miscounted, well, that's just enough to actually hurt the numbers for Tesla. So hopefully that ship unloads fairly quickly and those numbers do get counted in the delivery numbers for Q2. But now talking about Tesla from a short-term perspective, of course, from a short-term trading account, I'm going to be very data dependent. I'm going to make sure to watch out what's happening with Tesla. But as I said with previous videos, even if Tesla's going down in my short-term trading account, I wouldn't want to short Tesla, being that, there's at any moment a catalyst event that could push Tesla stock upwards. For example, last time I said this, just a couple of videos ago, I said, hey, I don't want to short Tesla even though Tesla's going down, because, at any moment another legacy automaker could join the Tesla supercharging network, and that could just be a catalyst event that pushes Tesla stock upwards. And lo and behold, the next day we had Volvo join, and then we saw Tesla kind of tick upwards. So again, still on that same idea where even if we have bad numbers and even if Tesla stock goes down, from a short-term trading perspective, I still don't want to short Tesla, because again, we had that news that could come out. We could have Volkswagen join the supercharging network, and that could cause like this frenzy for Tesla stock to go upwards, right? And then of course we also have the news of the Cybertruck that is coming around sometime this summer. So I still don't even want to short Tesla on a short-term trading basis, right? So if Tesla goes down, I'm not going to, short it. I'm going to wait to see when there is, a dip and then that confirmation of that uptrend. So even in my short-term trading account, I could take advantage of going long. Now, in my long-term portfolio, Tesla at this point actually makes a huge significant, I forgot the percentage, but it's, pretty huge, significant allocation in my portfolio, simply because Tesla has ran up so much in 2023. But in my long-term portfolio, I don't plan on doing much with Tesla. Of course, if we do fall down, that's the buying opportunity that I've been waiting for, right? I've been rubbing my hands, kind of waiting. Hey, if Tesla goes down this year, that's the opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and, just take advantage of the downtrend and actually buy some more. I always quote this Warren Buffett quote that goes somewhere along the lines where, be fearful when everyone's greedy and be greedy when everyone's fearful, right? So, of course, if Tesla stock goes down and everyone's fearful, that's when I'm going to be greedy. Of course, if Tesla stock still continues going up, well, I'm going to be fearful and I'm not going to want to add to my position. But again, you guys should only trade and invest in whatever you guys see value. You guys should not just copy whatever, formula I'm doing, because of course, at the end of the day, I'm just some guy on YouTube that, trades and also invests in companies like Tesla, right? So definitely you guys have to do your own due diligence. But with that being said, I do want to give you guys a friendly reminder that, July 4th is coming up in, just a matter of days. And so with that being said, we have one of our largest sales for the Push and Profit program, where you have access to the Push and Profit private group, where every single day you get access to what stocks I'm looking to trade and invest in, and also updates on what's going on in the overall market every single day. So definitely take advantage of that coupon code so you guys do have access to that. Also, you have access to the video lesson library and a few other things. So definitely take advantage of that link below. But with that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and also make sure to watch this next video right over here where I go ahead and cover volume profile from a deeper perspective, but also go ahead and consider watching this video right over here as well. With that being said, guys, I'll see you guys on those next videos. Take care.